Okay, so basically, guys, this is gonna be a really different video. I'm here with Kilimanjaro here.
Oh yeah.
Um, because this is a new series we're gonna be doing on the Ancient channel. Um, it's D&D. I don't know if you guys know a whole lot about D&D. If you do, comment down about that. But
Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah.
Most people don't know the abbreviation.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, I'm a nerd. Before we get started, I would like to actually introduce my character to everybody to let you guys know who my character is. To start out with it, my character actually, his name is Kayn Vectivus. He is of a class, he's a slayer, and
Pause for half a second. I'm gonna let everybody know this is a homebrew, so it's not gonna be any edition that you know. A lot of it's gonna be changed, so don't freak out. And for people who don't know, D&D is basically improv with a lot of it's improv acting with a game with numbers attached to it. That's basically what it is. Okay, go ahead.
my character is an elf. His alignment is neutral good. And my backstory, I will actually pull up and read to you guys. At the age of 6, I was a member of a small elven family that lived in a small hamlet in the kingdom of Ravenfield. One night, my father came home upset about losing his place in the town guard. For what reason he would not tell my mother. Late that night, a knock came from the front door of our small cottage. As my father had always done respectfully, he opened the door to greet the knocker. The next thing that happened changed my life. I saw my mother, and my mother cut down in an instant, and I quickly ran under the table and hid beneath it. Actually, I want to see something real quick. Okay. I stared as the men beat the bodies of my parents to feed the hounds they had brought with them. There was no distinguishable feature left. My sister could not bear it and ran out from her room screaming for her parents. The bandits took her, and I haven't seen her since. I knew if I moved, then I would be killed or taken like my sister, so I stayed hidden for the night. Woke to the sound of horses leaving the village. That night I promised I would find my sister. I would find those who burned and raided our village. I would find those who killed my parents. I found from the local magistrate 1 month later that I was the only survivor from Osra village. For 8 months I trained in the wild, away from the world with my father's blade, which had been charred black by the fires of the only home I ever known. One day on my travels, I met a man named by the name of Kilos. For years I had only used my rage to destroy those who stuck who sh- stood stuck stood in my way and my rage, and had begun to consume me and make me bitter about my life. Kilos saved me from my brash and emotional state, taking me up as an apprentice, teaching me in the ways of a swordsman. After 3 years of training, I became strong enough to help others from the same fate I suffered. If it comes down to risking my life to save someone, my honor or my ideals I will strike them down, for I will not let anyone suffer as I have. So that's my backstory. It's quite of a elaborate backstory. I'ma shank you. Let's get started.
And how long would you say you've been out on the road doing your whole you've been adventuring for a while, and you found the best way to find people in need is to go looking for them in these small villages, and even big towns can have people who are in trouble, and most of the time if you were to offer your services for free, people would look at you as if you were trying to scam them out of something. So you found the best way to help people is simply say you were an adventurer, which is a common occupation in this world, and that you are looking to help people for money. And this is how you've been finding the best way to help people. You recently heard of a small village where they've been having a little bit of an issue, something to do with their livestock. You're not an expert on livestock, but you do know a little bit about this area. And can you just give me a quick nature check?
Alright. D20, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. 18?
Okay. Yeah. You know that this area is known for having quite a considerable goblin issue, and still being you're still living in the kingdom of Ravenfield. You usually try not to go outside the borders of Ravenfield, and you know that Ravenfield is kind of known for having a little bit of a goblin issue, and it also has quite a few savage beasts that roam the forests. But for the most part, it's usually peaceful here. And you think these goblins might be the issue that this town could be having, or it could be some other phenomenon. You're not sure. But you think that you could solve this issue if you got to the village. So you decided to set out about 2 days ago. In those 2 days, nothing really eventful happened, except last night, before you set up camp, you had a massive thunderstorm come through, and you decided to set up again underneath a large oak tree. As you wake, you can see that it is early dawn, and there is still a small bit of rain covering the grass around you. It would be morning dew had it not been such a heavy rain last night. As you sit up from your bedroll, you hear the nice running waters of a nearby stream, and you can also hear a few fish flopping around in a nearby lake that you are going to pass by. You're on your way out of this area of the forest.
All right.
And as you're listening, give me a perception check.
I'll take my passive perception.
Did you roll a 1?
No, I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Which is a 13, by the way, my passive perception.
That goes right up to your passive. You hear what sounds like a stick cracking in the forest to your left.
I look that direction.
Okay, you can give another perception check.
I'll be like, who's there, boy? Someone coming at me? Oh boy. Oh, I'll just take my passive perception again. I got a 6.
Okay, what's your passive?
13.
So if you roll below it, just say 13.
Okay.
And you look over and you can't really see that much. There's a lot of shade in the forest but whatever is over there, if anything, is concealed.
Okay.
What do you do?
I stand up.
Okay, you stand up and brush yourself off.
Do I have any gear on the ground, or do I already have everything picked up?
You still have your bedroll out, and then your pack is laying next to your bedroll, which you could pick up if you want to.
I'm going to roll my bedroll back up and get my.
And your bedroll actually straps to the top of your pack. You have would be a belt, that 2 of them that you buckle and tighten the bedroll onto the top of your pack. You have to carry it separately. So you just tighten that up and put it on your back then.
Yep. And
As you're tightening the first buckle, you hear a low rumbling noise. It's very, very faint. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 19.
Hey. Alright. A moment.
Okay.
And at this point, you can see that 3 wolves have been coming up to attack you.
Oh, boy, and we're having all of a sudden a conclusion. Before we go any further, I would like to note something. If the screens are a little laggy or a little bit be far behind a little bit, guys, please apologize for that. We're hoping to later on fix it, but for now this is what we've got. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to be moving around a whole lot on the screens, so except for this screen down here. But other than that, that's the best we could figure out. So we do apologize. We have a solution, or I do have a solution in mind later on, but that can only be for later on. So continue. Sorry.
That's fine. I had to set this up.
Okay. I love how they're just like bleh. Trying to get a good angle here, but I don't think I can get a good angle. I think this is good. Oh. It's not a good angle. I'll just keep it where we had it before. Sorry, guys.
There you go. You see 3 wolves forming a semicircle coming towards you. One of them is growling at you in a very low, guttural growl.
Alright. So I'm going to pull out my longsword, and I'm going to make sure I know where these are. I'm guessing your longsword is at your side, and then your other sword is on your back, correct? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Making sure.
So are they like in a formation, or like are they going?
They're in a semicircle. They're basically all the same distance from you, and they seem to be trying to get behind you slowly but surely.
I'm going to. How can I climb the rock?
You would have to make an athletics check, or you can make a dex save. The dex save is to not slip if you jump onto it. The athletics is simply just climbing it quickly.
Okay. I'll do a athletics check.
Okay.
Which is D10, right? Or D20. I always get them confused.
Right. The dex save would be D10, but the athletics check is D20.
Okay.
The checks are 20s, the saves are 10s.
Checks are... Okay. Thank you.
Move your character over to the rock.
Oh, God.
As you attempt to do this.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Oh, my. Oh, this is bad.
What'd you roll?
I got a 4 plus 3, which is 7.
Okay. So you try and climb this fairly big boulder quick enough to where you're not bit by these wolves. However, one of them gets over to you before you can get all the way up the rock. And he is going to attempt to grab your ankle with his mouth. What is your AC?
6.
Okay. He goes to bite your ankle, and you barely, he does bite into your ankle, but it slips out of his mouth before you can actually chomp down.
Okay.
And then you're on top of the rock.
Right. May I make a counter back to him?
Well, we are going to now roll initiative, so.
Okay, yeah.
The wolves got 17.
Oh. What is with my rolls?
What did you get?
10.
Okay. The wolves then begin to encircle the boulder you are on, sometimes jumping up and biting in your general direction. They don't seem brave enough to climb over the rock currently.
If I can kill one, I think it'll be good, but we'll see.
What do you do?
Is it my turn or is it their turn?
It is your turn. They encircled it, and they held their attack actions.
Okay. Can I reach any of them with my longsword?
As you can try and stab one when it comes to try and bite you.
Okay, then that's what I'll do. I'll withhold my action till they...
They're constantly trying to nip at your ankles and pull you off, so you can just do it on whichever one you want.
Okay. This one right here. The back one in the corner.
Alright.
Using my longsword, by the way. Just to make sure you know which one.
Right. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay. Thank you. That's actually better. And that is with strength, as I'm right. Correct?
No. The longsword is dex-based.
Dex-based. Oh, yeah.
Your father's sword is strength-based.
Strength-based, okay. So I got a 15.
15. Okay. You hit. Roll damage.
Alright. Let's see.
And are you swinging or thrusting?
I will... Okay. Since... Do you think if from where their angle I will be able to chop his head off?
Unlikely.
Unlikely. Alright, then I will thrust at his head.
Okay.
Which... Okay, so... where are you? Where are you? There you are. Dang. Well, I only did 3 damage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 moment. Okay. So you thrust at this wolf, and just as you're about to strike, it sees the strike coming and turns its head away, but it is stabbed in the shoulder, in the upper shoulder, and it yelps and pulls away from you. The other two will take this advantage of you looking away from them and attempt to bite your ankles.
Little nippers.
That one is a miss. And that is a miss.
Ow.
Alright. Ooh, one of them missed so badly that he bites the boulder accidentally. It doesn't do any damage, but he feels stupid.
Which one was it? Can you point it out?
It's this one right here.
Mr. Stupid Fox.
Alright. And that brings it back to your turn.
Alright. Let's see. The one that I hit, is he still in range? Is he still nipping at me, or is he just like...
Yeah, he has resumed his continuous nipping.
Well,
He does not seem deterred.
I'm going to bash his head again. I'm going to just thrust my sword into his head again.
Okay.
Yeah. 13.
That's a hit.
Alright. And then 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. And all right. You actually make a large gash along his the top of his head, and the blood starts going over one of its eyes, and it can't quite see out of that eye right now.
Oh.
It is actually very agitated with you. It is going to attempt it's going to try and jump onto the rock, and then is going to try and attack you.
It's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with nipping.
So it tries jumping and is a little bit blind, and just skids back down the side of the rock.
Okay.
And that is its turn. And then the other two are going to again attempt to pull you off. One hits, and then the other hits. So both your ankles get grabbed. I need you to make a contest of strength with both of the wolves. If you fail one of these, or you lose to one of these, then you are pulled off the rock and knocked prone.
So this is a saving, or is this a...
It is a D10. It's a contest of strength. So I roll, and you roll, and whoever has the best roll. The first wolf got 4. If you can beat that, then you're not pulled off by him.
Okay.
What did you roll?
Why does this have to be today? Why does today have to be the worst day of my rolling? Guys, I promise I am better than this. I rolled a 1.
Okay, what's your bonuses though?
Even though it's a crit 1?
Well, it's a D10. You can't get a crit 1 on a D10. It's
Oh.
on a D20.
Okay. I was badly in shape there. I was like, crap. Well, it's plus 3. So,
Okay, you matched him, so we need to roll again. You would have to beat a 5.
no. I got 11.
11 total? Okay, so you just pull your leg away from this one, and then you're going to try a contest of strength with the other one, who got a 3. So you win, no matter what you roll, and you pull away from him.
Okay.
And that is they are not going to use their movement, so that is the end of their turn as well. Okay, and it's back to your turn.
Alright. I'm going to thrust my sword against the one that is really weakened, the one that I keep hitting over and over, and then agitating. Like,
you can actually hit him as he's falling off the rock, which gives you advantage to hit.
okay.
So you roll twice and take the best.
To hit or to damage?
To hit.
Okay. 8 19.
You hit. For sure.
Alright.
Okay.
I'll do damage. 3.
What are you rolling?
The 1d8.
Your longsword does 3d8.
You sourced it down to 1d8.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we're still right. One moment.
Alright. As I keep rolling this, I feel like should be a little bit more damage, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It should. I think I may have messed up. It is the longsword. I have it right here. Is it is 3d8 plus 5.
3d8 plus 5.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. I actually wasn't. I was starting to wonder because I was like 8 damage.
Go ahead.
Alright. Oh, wait. Am I re-rolling?
Go ahead and reroll if you want.
Okay.
Or you can keep that 1d8.
Just to keep it fair, yeah. So that was 3 plus 3d8 plus, so that was 3 plus 2 plus 8. That will help it. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 18 damage.
Alright. You thrust the sword and it finds a soft spot in the skull of this wolf and goes straight through the head, out the bottom of the jaw. As you pull your sword out, it just collapses and does not even twitch.
Jeez.
Alright. Give me 1 second. The other two fail their wisdom save, wisdom saves. And they both are going to flee.
Okay.
Do you let them leave or do you pursue?
I'll let them leave.
Alright, you're left there standing on a rock in the nice warm morning sun that is risen slightly higher since you woke. And you have a very, very bloody looking wolf lying in the grass next to you.
It's pretty. I'm going to hop down from this rock, and
you can move your own character if you want, or I can move him.
Okay. I'm gonna hop down and clean my blade. Ow. I think I'm just gonna use.
You wipe it in the grass then?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think I can do anything with this freaking I don't think I could do anything with this body. Woof. I don't think I can skin it or anything. Like, I don't know if I can.
You're not experienced in that, and using a longsword would be very difficult.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring, so. Sorry, dude, you're just gonna be useless. I think pretty much I'm at this point ready to go, and so I make sure I double check and look around that I didn't leave anything behind, and
your pack is still laying underneath the tree.
oh yeah, I remember I was just about to pack it up and I didn't, so I sheath my
You finish strapping on your bedroll, sheath your weapon, and put on your pack, and I guess head on your way.
Yes, I do.
We are going to stay on this screen for now, and then there's going to be a small intermission, and then we will be back.
So stay tuned, guys.